Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 17th April 2025. So let's get started. So actually, I searched a lot in our newspaper, but there are very less articles which are relevant, and even those articles which had been repeated. So there is a very limited, around 3 articles only there in our newspaper which are relevant that we didn't discuss in our earlier classes. So let us see those guys. Okay, so first article, see the title. So if you see the title of this article, what it says, India and China speed up efforts to restart Kailash Manasarovar pilgrimage. So what are the keywords? There are 2 important keywords here. First one is India-China relations. Second one is Kailash Manasarovar pilgrimage. Okay, let me write those keywords. First one is India, China relations. Second one is Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. Okay, so where you can see about this India-China relations in your syllabus? Yes, in GS paper 2 under international relations, you'll be studying about this India-China relations. Okay, so do we share direct boundary with China? Yes. Okay, so first you have to open your map, that is atlas, and you have to see where you're having sharing boundary with this China. And after seeing the states which are sharing boundary with China, so next you have to see one important area like disputed areas. So which are the disputed areas between India and China? So if you see, so like this, here we have dispute, here we have dispute, and here we have dispute. So in the 3 areas along Indo-China border, we have disputes. So this is called as Western sector. So this is middle sector. And this is Eastern sector. So in this Western sector, we have a line called as LAC, that is line of actual control. And in this middle sector, especially in this Uttarakhand region in Himachal Pradesh, the dispute is going on. And in Eastern sector, China is claiming entirely this Arunachal Pradesh region. Okay, so you have to see about these disputes. And you have to see about wars between India and China. So not only wars, even whenever the standoff happened between India and China along this borders, you have to see that. So you have to collect the wars between India and China, when it was happened and what was the reason and how this war had been ended. And recently, if you see this standoff, so across this LAC from 2020 onwards, we are having this issue. And here in this eastern sector, in 2017, there was issue at this Doklam Valley region. It is nothing but the tri-junction of India, Bhutan and China. Okay, here it happened. Okay, so see that once about Doklam issue and about this 2020 standoff at this LAC. And in this standoff, it also leads to Galwan Valley incident, and in this incident, India lost around 20 important Indian soldiers also. Okay, because of this skimmering between India and Chinese troops. Okay, so these are the things that happened that you have to see. And next, you have to see about areas of cooperation between India and China. So if at all we have any areas of cooperation, you have to see that. So one important area of cooperation is Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. So because of this is the news. So actually, where is this Kailash mountain is there? That is Mount Kailash in Tibet region. So now Tibet is under control of China. So if we want to allow Indians to go for this pilgrimage, obviously we need permission from China, right? So that is the thing which mainly talked in this article. So actually the permission between this India and China Kailash Mansarovar Earlier we used to there, but it had been stopped in 2019 to 2020. And again, after 4 years, we are going to resume again the permission for Indian citizens or Indian pilgrimage to visit this Kailash Mansarovar. That's the thing that you have to add here. And second one is you have to see what are the challenges. So tell me, what are the challenges between India and China? So if you see the Northeast, there are some allegations that China is giving arms, giving something that is to fight against Indian government. That is arms, nothing but like weapons, okay, to the insurgent groups who are present here. That is one important issue. And next one is we have this issue called as border issue at this western sector, middle sector and eastern sector. And next important issue here is, here we have which river? River Brahmaputra. On this they are going to construct super dam or large dam so far. So it is also going to have some issue on India's water security, India's agriculture, India's irrigation, drinking water, everything. And even that may also leads to, in future, water wars. And even we have issue with string of pearls. Yes. And even wherever you see on continent or on land, there is Chinese expansionist aggressive policy. That is also one important issue. And China's Belt and Road Initiative, that is nothing but CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is going in this Pak-occupied Kashmir, which is an integral part of our country, right? So this is also one important issue between India and China. And even trade deficit, yes or no? So China is enjoying trade surplus and India is having trade deficit. Okay. And actually China is also focusing on this concept called as weaponization of trade, because many countries depend on this China for the raw material. If China suddenly stops the supply of raw material, then what happens? That will lead to weaponization of trade. What is the recent example? China is stopping the supply of critical minerals for many countries, stopping semiconductor supply. Obviously, what happened? That will lead to weaponization of trade. So these all are the challenges between India and China relations. And next you have to see what is the way forward. So what can we do to address these challenges? So see that once. So these are things that you have to see from India-China relations, which is a part of your international relations. And what about this Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage? So here you have to see some basic facts. So what are those facts? First you have to see location of this Mount Kailash, where it is located. And actually, so this Kailash Mansarovar is one of the very famous pilgrimage site. And many Indians who are the devotees of Lord Shiva, they will go to this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Okay. So actually, if you see, it is located in which area? Tibet. It is under control of China now. And we are using 2 passes. Okay, 2 passes. What is the meaning of pass? Pass is nothing but here, if you see, in northern part of our country, what we have? We have Himalayas. So here we have first Trans Himalayas. Next, second line is Greater Himalayas. And third line is Lesser Himalayas. And last one is we have Outer Himalayas or Sivaliks, right? So these mountains are the chain. Okay, like this they will be having. They are like chain. So if you are present in this region, if you want to go in this region, what happens? You have to move like this and you have to go. For example, if you are having a way, it's nothing but if you are having mountains like this. So it is allowing us to move from one place to here, this place, right? So this is called as mountain pass. Mountain pass is nothing but the area where you can go into that so that you can reach the other side of the mountains. This is called as mountain pass. And here to reach this Kailash Mansarovar, so if you see the location of this Kailash Mansarovar, I will be showing you the map, guys. Just a minute. Yes, here I hope you can see. So this is our India border, this green color, light green color. And here we have Himalayas like this, right? Okay. So here we have this Mount Kailash. Okay. So here we are using 2 important passes. One pass is here is Lippu Lake. Lippu Lake. It is present near India and Nepal. And here we have this Lippu Lake somewhere. Okay. And next one here is we are using the Sikkim. Sikkim from here we can go like this. So here to reach this Mount Kailash, we are using two important passes. So if you are using those two passes, finally you have to enter into China for sure. So for that, India-China relations is very, very important for promoting of what? Tourism also. Okay, so now let us see what is this article, why it is in news. Okay, so the context says that India and Chinese officials, they are making a significant progress now in resuming Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So from 2019 onwards, there is a stall. They are not allowing our Indians to enter and go for this Kailash Mansarovar through this route. So finally, we are going for resuming of talks now after majorly 4 years. So if you see some important key points, what you have to remember here. So whenever there is resuming or whenever there is stopping of this kind of movement of people, is that good? No, right? So actually we can understand that between India and China relations, lot of complexities we have. So because of this, it is having direct impact on our pilgrimage centers also. For example, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So actually this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra pilgrimage, so which serves as a cultural bridge between India and China. And actually lots of tensions are there between India and China, but even though we have such kind of people to people contact, people to people exchanges, but in 2019 finally the stall of this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra pilgrimage happened. And now we are going for the discussions, and we have to think that yes, we are going to have this resuming, and so that we can improve the people to people contact. And next important one here is we are also planning for infrastructure improvement in this region. Why? Because if pilgrimages they want to enter into this, already it is there in the Himalayas, right? So here in Himalayas we have a very rugged topography. So because of this, we need the good infrastructure, for example, proper road facilities that we need to have, so that what happens, what are the barriers which are there for the pilgrims, that is nothing but the people who wants to go to these areas, those barriers can be addressed. And this one here is, here actually whenever we are going for the discussions, so we have to go for the discussions before the starting of that so and so yatra, right? So normally this pilgrimage will start in the month of June. Now we are in the month of April. So if we start now, then it will get resolved by at this time of June, like that. So whenever we are discussing anything significantly, we have to see the time also. Okay, whether we are going to finalize this issue before that pilgrimage is going to be started or not. And next one here is we have to make the preparations on the both the sides, because once the permission got from this China, so again we have to give an announcement regarding the people that yes, this so and so pass had been opened, and through this pass you can reach this Kailash Mansarovar. So like that we have to give the announcements, right? So we have to go for further preparedness on the both the sides to overcome the previous obstacles. Okay, and what is the importance of this yatra? Yatra is the symbol of peace and as well as cooperation between the two countries. And not only that, even it is very, very helpful for the boosting of tourism, boosting of local economy also. So all these things that you have to remember. And now let us see some important facts regarding this yatra. So this Mount Kailash is a diamond-shaped peak which is made up of black rock, and where it is located in Tibet. So India organizes this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra every year, that is between the time that is June and September. And we use these two important passes. The first one is Lippu Lake Pass from 1981, which is located in Uttarakhand region. And next one is Nathula Pass, which is located in Sikkim, and we are using it from 2015 onwards. And actually the height of this Mount Kailash is 6,638 meters. That is nothing but whether it is high or low compared to that of Mount Everest. Obviously it is low compared to that of Mount Everest. And it is one of the sacred mountain for not only Hindus, for even Jains, for even Buddhists also. Okay, and Hinduism, it is the abode of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. In Jainism, Kailash is Ashtapada, where Rishabhanada attained enlightenment. And this one is Mount Kailash is considered as one of the spiritual center on our earth itself. Okay, with the rivers Satluj, Brahmaputra, Kamali, and Indus rivers originate from it. And even Lake Mansarovar is located at the base of this mountain. It is very, very important, guys. Okay, so those are the things that you have to say, and I already showed you the map, and just go in deep with that map once. So here we have Mansarovar Lake, and here we have this Mount Kailash region. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says Northeastern region is the gateway to Southeast Asia, says Jaishankar. So whenever any of our Indian diplomat, whenever they are giving any statements, that will be becoming very, very important. You may get direct interview question on this, or you may get directly a mains question on this area. Okay. So why this statement given by this Jaishankar? So what is there in the recent news? So recently, Bangladesh is under control of Muhammad Yunus, right? Yunus. So what did this Yunus did in the recent past? He went to China. And in China, he made some statements which are hurting Indians. What are those statements? So he said that, Yunus said that India's northeastern region is landlocked. India's northeastern region is landlocked, and it is nothing but the extension of Chinese market. So that is a statement which is said by Yunus from Bangladesh. So it hurted India's feelings, India's inner things, everything. And finally, because of that statement, what we did in retaliation? We cancelled transshipment facility for Bangladesh. What is this transshipment facility? So here we allowed the Bangladesh to go for exporting of the goods to countries. Which are those countries? Bhutan, Myanmar, and Nepal, by using our ports and as well as airports, right? So in retaliation, what we also said, because of increasing of traffic congestion, we are going to stop this transshipment facility for Bangladesh. That is the thing which happened, right? And now recently, one summit had happened. That summit name is Northeast Investor Summit 2025. Northeast Investor Summit 2025, which had been held, and in that summit, our External Affairs Minister, he made this statement. So this article is important from which subjects? International relations. Yes, because of the recent statement of Muhammad Yunus on northeastern part of our country hurted us. And next one is, we are focusing on getting investors. That is nothing but it is important from your economy from GS paper 3 point of view. And this kind of statements directly you can use in your answers. Whenever you are writing about any answer regarding Southeast Asia, or whenever you are writing any answer regarding northeastern part of our country, can you add this direct title? Like recently, our External Affairs Minister, he stated that northeastern India or northeastern region is the gateway to Southeast Asia, so that we can promote which kind of policies? We have Act East, right? We have Act East India, and also we have Neighborhood First policy. And in BIMSTEC also, yes, Northeast plays a very important role. So like that, you can use this kind of statements while you're writing your introduction or in the conclusion, guys. So use this. Okay, you will be getting, of course, good marks if you are using this kind of strategy while writing introduction or conclusion for your mains. Okay, now let us see this article clearly. What is the context? So in the recent virtual address to ambassadors meet of the Northeast Investor Summit. So recently Northeast Investor Summit happened virtually. Virtually is nothing but on online. Our India's External Affairs Minister, he stated that yes, northeastern region of India is very, very significant. It is having its own value. Okay, so if you see the details, it says that countering remarks made by Bangladesh Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus. So now Bangladesh is under control of Yunus, right? Yunus interim government. So Yunus made some controversial statements regarding our northeastern region. That is, he said that it is landlocked and it is nothing but it is extension of Chinese market. Because of this, it hurted our inner feelings. So Jaishankar, on other hand, he said that this region, this northeastern region, it is very important and vital for the gateway to Southeast Asia. So because of this, it will be very much helpful for our policy initiatives like Neighborhood First policy, Act East policy, and as well as BIMSTEC. So actually in this summit, our ambassadors, they made some statements, and they especially called for investors to invest in this region, especially Northeast, so that we can promote economic growth and we can develop infrastructure in this region. Okay, because through this region we are going to connect this Southeast Asian part, BIMSTEC, Actist policy of our country. So if you're investing here, you will be having a lot of potential. And this one here is they are also focusing on development of tourism in this region. So whenever we are developing tourism, obviously it will lead to increasing of economic growth. And actually we are focusing on especially connectivity initiatives. Are there any connectivity projects in this region? Yes, we have Trilateral Highway and we have Kaladan Multimodal Transport Project, which is linking Southeast Asia with this Northeastern region. Okay, like that, if you are coming up with this kind of infrastructure projects, obviously it will lead to improved connectivity, improved trade and improved economic growth. That is the thing which mainly said here. And next one here is we are having a lot of challenges in this Northeastern region. So what are the challenges in this Northeastern part? We have smuggling, arms smuggling, drug smuggling, even human trafficking is there. And especially in this Myanmar, we have porous border. This is also one important problem. And this one is border management. And especially illegal migrants are influxing into this region. And because of that, we are seeing this tribal revolts which are happening in this region even today also. And next important problem here is, that is the thing, insurgencies and some violent organizations are acting against the government of India. And even in the starting of this class itself, I said that Chinese is supplying arms, guns, etc. so that they are fighting against government of India. So all these problems are there. So here our External Affairs Minister quoted one scheme. So please make a note of that. That is Purvodaya. So he said that we are having a lot of challenges in this Northeastern regions, even though government came up with this Purvodaya scheme. And the important aim of this scheme, it is for improving of socio-economic development in this region. They are focusing on what? Socio-economic development. Okay, very, very important. And this one here is, he also highlighted that Northeastern states, they can contribute to the global workforce. So if you are focusing on education in this region, and if you're focusing on skill development. So I already gave you one verse regarding education, that is you have to find out the literacy rate. So literacy rate is high in Kerala. And apart from that, in which state there is a high literacy rate? In Mizoram, right? That means Mizoram comes under which state, which part of our country? Northeastern. So if you are focusing on skill development and more education, and obviously it will create employment opportunities in that region, so that we can also enhance global labor market from this northeastern parts of the country. So that is the thing which mainly said in this article. That's it, guys. And now let us see the next article. So it is not at all the new topic. Yesterday itself we discussed this. So title says good news and bad. So this article is talking about retail inflation. So what we discussed in yesterday's class, guys? So retail inflation had been decreased from 2019. It is around 3.34% which had been recorded. Okay, so if this retail, okay, let me write here. So now my question is, there is decreasing of retail inflation. That means nothing but there is decreased prices of goods and as well as service in the market. So in yesterday's class, we discussed about what is the reason for this decreasing of prices. There is decreasing of food prices especially. So because of decreasing of food prices, for example, fruits, vegetables, especially they said onion and tomato prices which had been increased, and even decreasing of oil prices, edible oil prices. Now there is decreased inflation. That is the thing that we discussed. This is the old story that we discussed in yesterday's class. But now the new story that you have to focus is, let me change the color of pen. So who will produce this food? Farmers. So farmers will be producing this food. For example, you can take rice, you can take fruits, you can take vegetables. Who will grow all this? Farmers. They may do agriculture or horticulture, whatever it may be, and they will produce the items. And whenever there is decreasing of inflation, who will be getting benefited? We people. If you're going to the market, we'll be very, very happy that tomato kg is 5 rupees only. But who will be sad here? Farmer. So if we are buying that same tomato for 5 rupees in the market, so for how much price he would be selling? It will be around 2 rupees or 3 rupees in the market. So why it is bad? Because the farmers, they are not going to get the proper income. Okay, will they get the proper income? What they expected? So if they are getting bumper crop, they will be feeling very, very happy. And if you are taking that bumper crop to this so-and-so market, if they are not getting proper price, I already said in our anthropology classes and also in our current affairs classes, there are some reels which become very viral that tractor full of this tomatoes, they will be dumping into this lakes. And even whatever the produce are getting, they are just throwing it off because they are not getting the proper prices. That means here farmers, they will be not getting proper prices, or there is decreasing of income of farmer. So actually government have one important aim. What is that? Doubling of farmers' income. So because of this decreasing of inflation, can we ensure there is an increasing of income of farmers? No, obviously. That's the thing which mainly said. So on one side, it is good for the consumers like you and me. On another side, for farmers, it will be difficult because they're not going to get the proper income. That's the thing which mainly said. This is the continuation of yesterday's story. So let me show you those details. So here this article is saying that there is a record low inflation. India's inflation fell to 3.34%, which is 6 years low. And on another side, even repo rate had been decreased. Yes or no? So what is the repo rate now? It is 6%. Earlier it was 6.5 and now it had been decreased to 6. And next one here is there is a dropping of food prices also. Especially vegetable prices, fruit prices, they had been decreased. And what about the concern? Concern here is farmers' income. So there is a steep decline of food prices in the market which raises alarm regarding farmers' income. It will be mainly affecting their consumption, their demand. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said. And if you are comparing with the rural areas and urban areas, yesterday we saw that in rural areas there is less inflation. That means who are there in these rural areas? That is the farmers. So furthermore, farmers' income will be decreased in rural areas compared to that of urban areas. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said here. Nothing more than that. And see this next article. Title says monsoon anticipation. So is there any update regarding monsoon prediction in the recent past? Yes, first, I think around 15 days ago, IMD said that we are going to have El Nino and we have to check it later. And later on, 4 days ago, SkyMet, it is a private organization, came up with this monsoon prediction and it said we are going to have La Nina. And yesterday's article, what IMD said, yes, we are going to have above normal rainfall this year. That means nothing but we are going to have La Nina for sure this year. So again, this is the extension of that yesterday's article, nothing more. So actually what is the title says, despite prediction of normal rainfall, India must be ready for extremes. What are the extremes that we are going to have? So India's agriculture is mainly dependent on rainfall. So do all the states will be getting equal rainfall? There are certain states will be getting high rainfall and certain states which will be getting less rainfall. So which states will be getting more rainfall? Especially in this Western Ghats region and their northeastern region. Whenever they are progressing forward, these winds, that will lead to the decreasing of rainfall for sure. Okay, so that is the one important problem. And if you see in detail, this article is saying that we are going to have the above normal rainfall this year. So whenever there is increased rainfall, can we increase the produce? Yes, obviously, because our agriculture is based on rainfall. Rain-fed agriculture is there. So here, yes, we can increase the rainfall so that we can increase our kharif sowing and we can get more produce. So whenever more produce is coming to the market, then what happens? Price will be more or less price. And again, who will be getting impacted? First article continuation, farmers' income will be getting affected. And next one here is Yes, we are getting more amount of pulses as imports. We are not growing much amount of pulses, which is the protein security of our country. We are getting from other countries. And one more problem with this kharif sowings is which crop will be grown in India? More rice, right? So here, when we are going for more sowings of this rice, what about this imports which we are getting? Further will be increasing of our imports. Whenever we are getting our imports from other countries, will they give for free of cost? No, even our neighbor will be not giving at least 1 cup of sugar with the free of cost. They will next day come with big cup rather than whatever we got from their home for another thing. Yes or no? The barter system which will go with our neighboring houses, right? Then why this other countries will give these things with free of cost? No, right? Okay. So what we have to do? We have to pay in the dollars. Yes or no? Then what happens? Foreign reserves will be decreased in India. That is the one important thing. Okay. So even if we are going to have the good monsoon rainfall, there will be no crop diversification for pulses. So because of this, still furthermore imports happens. So it will be the one more toughest situation for India. And next one here is, yeah. Okay, so here what happening here? Climate change is happening. And because of climate change, what is happening? Melting of glaciers is happening. So here snow cover will be furthermore increased. Okay, furthermore decreased actually. Why? Even in Himalayas also there is a fast melting of Himalayas are happening, right? There are lots of reports which are saying. So whenever the rainfall happens more, what happens? Furthermore fastening of snow cover or decreasing of snow cover will happen. And this one is, yes, whenever we are having more rainfall in certain areas, what happens? It will obviously leads to the floods. If you open any channel, especially news channels, during this monsoon season, you will be seeing flash floods, cloud burst, you will be seeing this urban floods, lots of people, they died, and lots of property. That means nothing but you have to be very much prepared for disaster management, right? Especially in Kerala. Every year we'll be having this for sure. And even whenever we are having more amount of rainfalls, it will also leads to landslides. For example, recent Wayanad landslide. So we have to be very much prepared for this landslides like events and as well as flood control mechanisms also. So these are the things that we have to see. Trade will be getting affected, pulses, imports will be increased, and as well as farmers' income will be decreased, and disasters will be increased, and even melting of snow happens very fast level. So these are the important problems that we are going to have because of this increased rainfall this year. Clear? Yes, next article again the same thing. US reciprocal tariffs, that thing we are discussing from last 20 to 25 days. I also get bored to discuss this. So just refer what is this reciprocal tariff, and you have to see the timeline of this Trump 2.0 era and what is this trade war, what is the impact. Okay, and next article say this same thing. So because of tariff tensions, because of increasing of reciprocal tit for tat tariffs between the countries, will the trade happen in the normal way? No, obviously trade will be decreased, right? So please make a note here. WTO is nothing but World Trade Organization came up with a forecast that because of this tit for tat tariffs or nothing but reciprocal tit for tat things. So here the trade will be going to fall by 0.2 percentage. Okay, so whenever you're writing any answer regarding this trade wars, reciprocal tit for tat tariffs, you can use this statement in your introduction that recently WTO forecast said because of this reciprocal tit for tat tariffs, trade is going to be declined by 0.2 percentage. So like that you can use this. Okay. So there is nothing much important in our today's newspaper. I think you got only the extension of your yesterday's articles today. Okay, so if you are following correctly for 1 to 2 months, there will be not more than like 20 to 30 issues that will repeating. So every day the repetition will happen. Okay, try to follow on every day so that you will be listening that many times and your retention capacity will be more and your memory will be like updated. So these are some important topics that appeared in our today's Hindi newspaper. So by this I'm concluding, guys, and thank you so much for watching this, and do subscribe to Rathore Science Academy. Don't forget.